sunny and it's quieter today for whatever reason. And I guess with that in mind, what's going on today? I guess it wasn't quiet in terms of things happening with drones and so forth. How about this first one? DJI posted this one saying, DJI granted world's first C1 drone certification. It says DJI has been granted the world's first C1 EU type examination certification for drones under the new European drone regulation. The C1 certificate for the Mavic 3 series, which requires users to update to C1 compliant firmware, brings a number of advantages. Users can fly in the new A1 open category and will no longer have to pass the complex and costly A2 remote piloting licensing exam. They will have more freedom to fly in environments they have been restricted from without the C1 certificate, unless obtaining special permission after an additional lengthy administrative process. It's one of those things I mentioned, the drones, they could be the best in the world per se, but if you can't fly it legally wherever you are, then what's the point? It says the C1 certificate has been issued by the officially recognized notified body of TUV Rheinland, if that's how you say it, and is a testament to DJI's team determination. And so they have this brief chart of sort in terms of what you can and can't do, I guess, with this new approval. For example, it says operating area with C1 certificate and C1 compliant firmware, flying in the A1 open category from now on and after the 31st of December 2023. Can't fly over uninvolved people. If it happens, should be minimized and so forth. And there are some other details, and some of them I find kind of silly. That's just the way I guess things like regulations are. It says C1 certified drones with C1 compliant firmware are also subject to additional mandatory changes under European drone regulation. The Mavic 3 series meets the new noise reduction level of 83 dB. When the active track intelligent flight mode is used to film people or objects, the distance from the person or / object will be limited to 50 meters. Beyond 50 meters, active track will be disabled. So that's a little unfortunate in that part, because that almost sounds like geofencing in many ways. The auxiliary LEDs will be turned on and off automatically during use based on the actual environment, and the LEDs at the front arms of the drone will blink by default for the duration of the UAV being powered on. These changes will be activated whenever any C1 certified drone of the DJI Mavic 3 series is flown in the European Economic Area. So pretty much it is kind of like the geofence. I guess in one end it's good because it enables people to fly more places and all that. At the same time, this might be way too much, I guess, babysitting, hand-holding types of restrictions at the same time. I don't think it's necessarily a good idea. Because again, with things like geofence and all that, I've seen it create more havoc in a lot of cases where people are fully authorized to fly, and this thing has like a mind of its own and all that. It's not based on, I don't know, practical, real situations in many ways. Just like this flying like 50 meters around like a person or something like that. It just seems like it's too stone age still. Imagine delivering something like a medicine or something like that. Oh, I need to bring it to the person, but nope, I need to stay 50 meters away. You're lost in the middle of a hiking trail or something like that. Okay, come jump over this cliff here and come grab this. Like, this is an example how I don't think people really thought this through in terms of regulators, whether or not it makes sense in practicality. And how about this, where recently Snap announced their new drone, but just like that, they're basically scrapping it apparently? This one says, Snap scraps development of Pixy flying selfie drone. Move comes after company reported disappointing earnings and less than 4 months after the drone was launched. Snap is sunsetting future developments of its Pixy flying selfie camera less than 4 months after launching the product publicly, according to people familiar with the matter, becoming the latest technology company to adjust product plans during the economic downturn. Snap Chief Executive Evan Spiegel recently told staff during a regular question and answer session of the decision around the Pixy drone, the effort to halt further development of the project is part of a broader reprioritization of company resources. Mr. Spiegel told staff, the people said, Pixy is a small drone that takes off and lands in the user's hand. It was introduced at the end of April during Snap's annual partner summit with a $230 starting price. When it's first launched, Mr. Spiegel says it's planned to sell a limited quantity of them. Snap will continue to sell the current iteration of Pixy according to a person familiar with the matter. As of Thursday morning, it was available for online purchase. So could it be there just isn't a market for these types of drones Or is it more because the price and the quality just isn't there? I know for a lot of companies, actually, it seemed like they're focusing more on commercial applications. Regulations could be a big reason for it, just way too much hassle for a lot of people who just want to fly something up in the air, for example, have some fun, or capture some pictures and videos. But yeah, that's pretty quick though, 4 months and that's it, basically axing the project. And the last thing I read, which was kind of interesting, where apparently in the east, like Ontario, there's a lot of thunderstorms and stuff like that. Like this guy says what? Severe thunderstorm warning for this cell south of St. Catharines. Very heavy rain could total 50 millimeters in less than an hour. Holy, that's a lot of rain. Quarter-sized hail also possible. So you would expect here, like people posting social media pictures of all the clouds and so forth, but I thought this was kind of interesting where someone's just flying, I guess like a plane. Like this one says what? Flying through canyons of towering cumulus in Toronto. Would that actually seem that bad if you're flying this? I think that looks kind of cool in terms of all these clouds and so forth. I guess depending on your perspective and your viewpoint, it could be good or bad. I'm sure on the ground it's horrible, but I guess up in the air it looks kind of cool. Alright, see you guys later.